Was the Tuesday of my spring break when I was in 7th grade that they called my dad and they said that, that I had cancer. That's kind of how my whole journey started. In March of 2009, I had noticed a small bump on my gum. Well, it slowly just started growing and growing, and it was actually filling my sinus cavity. In the process of me seeing different oral surgeons and dentists, my pediatrician had referred me to MD Anderson, and at the time my parents were really confused. Why would you send a consult to MD Anderson in this whole process? It was actually a blessing that they did, because once they found out that it was cancer, I was taken out of school immediately. I did treatment for 6 months. I was inpatient 5 times. Each time I was in the hospital, my mom would usually stay with me. My friends and my family would come visit me when they could. But it was really my nurses that helped me be able to get through this process, and my doctors and everyone here is what really influenced me in my decision that I wanted to become a nurse after I was done with my treatment. Hi, I'm Caitlyn Mortus, and I'm a pediatric oncology nurse at the University of Texas MD Anderson Children's Cancer Hospital.
Her dream was to be working at MD Anderson. I think she really provides a unique perspective for the patients and the families, having gone through it.
Hey.
She's not telling everybody her story, but it helps guide her in how she takes care of patients and families.
Are you going to try to get some sleep now? Most times I don't share my story with patients and families, just because I know everyone's journey is their own journey. I know what the hard days look like. I know what the good days look like. I know when you don't want anyone in your room and there has to be 1,000 people in your room that day. It will start kicking in, we say, about 30 minutes.
I was the nurse practitioner on the team that treated Caitlyn when she was diagnosed. And I think one of the things that was so touching about her story is that even while she was in treatment, she was thinking about how she could make things better for patients who were going to come after her. Back then, they would give netbooks to patients to keep them connected in their social groups and help them with school.
I was gifted a netbook computer. I got to talk with my friends, I got to talk with my family. That's what really gave me comfort. So in 2010, I started my own nonprofit organization where we give now iPads to kids with cancer or any life-threatening illnesses. It's called Keep Kids Connected.
And now she's transitioned that into other children's hospitals throughout the country. Also recently, I had one of those proud moments where Caitlyn came down to the clinic, and she came down to provide this patient with an iPad. Not only could you see the reaction from the patient, but as I looked over at Caitlyn and just saw how that filled her to be able to serve, and to think about, you know, not only does she serve our patients and families as a nurse now on the inpatient unit, but she continues to serve them through her foundation.
Another thing that gave me a lot of comfort when I was in the hospital was the Children's Art Project.
So Caitlyn was a pretty prolific artist when she was a patient at the Children's Cancer Hospital.
You could bet that every morning I would be there in art class, drawing, coloring.
We are still featuring her cute little ladybug designs.
I never knew I had talent until I went there, and then I just ran with it.
We're so happy to have this artwork from Caitlyn featured on these products that are flying off the shelves. We've got some because the proceeds do go back to our Children's Cancer Hospital, and that just makes everyone happy.
I went from not knowing what cancer was to really knowing how many people it affected. It really shaped me into the person I am today, and 100% influenced why I wanted to come back and work here.
Saw a lot of drive in her, courage. I'm still being very fearless, like I'm going to conquer this, I'm going to beat it, and I'm going to get back to being a cheerleader, being a regular kid, just do life, and she's done that.